Welcome to TouchGraph Navigator 2, Excel Loading Tutorial. In this video, we're going to talk about how to format an Excel file for loading. Let's begin by looking at an Excel file. Look in the Samples directory to find a file called sampleexcel.xls. Currently, Navigator 2 supports only XLS files and not XLSX. When we open this file, we see that row 1 contains column headers, and the rows below contain data. There shouldn't be any rows above the column headers. Each row is a separate record where each column value corresponds to the name specified in the column header. This is different from a crosstab format where there are row headers as well as column headers. At least one column must have IDs that we can use to create entities or relationships. We're going to use the names in the first column, such as executive, architect, and designer, as IDs that represent people. We can then use these IDs to connect data across multiple worksheets. In the emails worksheet, we repeat these names, which allows us to connect people in the first sheet with the relationships in the second sheet. Now let's look at how we load this file with Navigator. First, bring up the loading wizard using File, Open Wizard menu. To load a new file, we leave the project field blank and select Excel from the Input dropdown. Use the bottom Browse button to select the XLS file we want to use. Then we can press Configure to proceed. We can verify that the file has been properly loaded by bringing up the Data Types and Delimiters wizard page. This will give us a preview of what we loaded. This screen mirrors the data itself. The column headers from row 1 of the worksheet are now displayed as the table fields. The preview column is populated with values from row 2. The available tables list corresponds to different worksheets in the file. Finally, we can select the different tables to make sure worksheets were properly loaded. And that's all for this video. The next step is to change configurations on this page if necessary, which will be covered in another tutorial.